Everyone, Raven here again. So I thought I would continue on with like my little tutorials for, OBS and streaming to Twitch through OBS. So, I kind of wanted to give it, a fresh install so I can work with everyone to kind of set it up so you can be successful in streaming to Twitch from OBS. So what you're seeing here on my screen is after I've downloaded and installed OBS software. Now, most of the time, this is what your screen is going to look like if you're fresh. So let's work through everything here. So in order to stream to Twitch, you're going to have to go through your settings and go down to stream and then connect to your account and create Steam keys. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, but I'm going to take this off my screen so y'all can't get access to my account because I feel like that's a horrible idea. But once you verify and log in, you'll be able to create a Steam or a stream key, and then that will connect your OBS to your Twitch. Now, give me 1 second. I do have to do my verification code because, internet safety is important. We don't want anybody stealing our stuff. Okay, so once you've successfully connected your account, this is what it's going to look like. I recommend keeping your server to auto simply because it will go to whichever one is either closest to you at the time. So like, for example, if you're doing this from a laptop and you go from like West Coast to East Coast, it'll automatically determine which one you need to go to. So that is something that I suggest you just kind of leave alone. Now, always make sure you apply. Oh my, okay. So it looks like because I previously did the I previously connected stuff, we have extra little pop-ups here. But for now, that's that's another video, and hopefully that one makes more sense. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna disable some notifications here because, oh my lord, they are popping off like crazy. Where is it? Okay, we are just going to mute this. We're going to mute that for a minute. Okay, there we go. Now, you can change like your style to be whatever you need it to be. I personally just... I like what I like. I like the dark. It makes me less eye strain on pure white. So that's what appearance does, is basically changing your color scheme. For all of these are basically like options you can do when you are starting to either stream or record, because with OBS you can do both. Now if you just do streaming, it won't automatically record, so you can enable this feature, and then make sure you keep that too. That way you can have your recordings saved. Otherwise, it's just going to automatically delete them. But for me, yeah, I'm going to keep those enabled too. Actually, no, I'm not, because I don't have the space. That's why I disabled it to begin with. And this source alignment snapping is basically like these docks here and how easily you can pop them into places. So we are going to go over to output. Now, a lot of people want to play music while live, and Twitch does have some issues with that. But in order for you not to get immediately like copyright violated, There are a lot of videos recommending to change your streaming settings and making your audio track, so basically like what you hear on your music, on this filter, and then enabling your Twitch VOD, your video of the day track, to a separate track. So this helps your stuff not get copyrighted initially. Like, that's not going to prevent someone from manually reviewing your videos and getting you that way, but it'll still help the bots not pick it up. So make sure you apply those, and then change these as needed. Like, essentially, like, so track 1, for example, you can name this to be like gameplay audio, and then track 6 you can say no YouTuber, whatever. So in reality, you can name these anything you need to. I typically don't change any of these settings. It's best to just keep them kind of as default, unless you have a sound mixer. So I currently use SteelSeries GG. So in my case, because I have OBS and like a game channel, a chat channel, which is usually where my Discord pops up, and like my browsers will pop up under media and any other games or any other things that I need on my screen, but I don't want sound, I'll pop into this this channel. So for me personally, I'm going to change my mic in this case to be my microphone SteelSeries, so that way OBS is picking it up from here. And I believe you can do this with Wavelink as well, the Elgato Wavelink program as well, and it'll go from there as. But otherwise, I'm just going to leave these as default, and that should be all I need to do. I typically keep my canvas resolution 1920 by 1080 because that's typically your standard horizontal screen format. And then, yeah, that's essentially just keep those the same. Now, there are fun things here with OBS. You can assign different things to, like, you can set up hotkeys. So for example, like, let's say I want to start streaming. If you have like a mouse button, or like if you want to say, okay, I'm going to use like my home key here. If I press home while OBS is open, it's going to start recording. And if I hit end, it'll stop streaming. Those are just some examples of what you can do. Personally, I don't use those simply because I want to control when I start and stop, and I don't want to accidentally hit a key. The only one I do use is the scene transition, and we'll get into that at a later date when we go over, when I go over like how to set up scenes, how to set up sources and whatnot. So essentially these are just, this is just kind of like an intro to how to set up your OBS to make it work for you. Now, accessibility. So for me, I hate the color red personally, but I'm also like red-green colorblind. So there are some things I can see and there are some things I can't. So in my instance, I prefer, I can see blues, purples, greens, to some, like greens to some degree, but I typically do keep things to like that, the cooler spectrum of colors. So, but these are just some of the things you can change in OBS. And once we get into like setting up your scenes and getting all of that, then these colors will make more sense. But for now, just choose what colors that you think is going to make sense to you. So it's essentially up to you and what you prefer. And then, so this advanced tab, this is for like when you're recording, like your file formatting. I would recommend keeping this the same, simply because this will tell you the year, the date, the month, and what time your recording was saved as, which is kind of nice because it'll help you keep track of how, like, the date you recorded instead of having to try to figure out what it is. So I typically just leave it as is. So always remember to hit apply, and then that is essentially how I initiate my OBS startup. So if this was helpful, please let me know in the comments. If it wasn't helpful, let me know what I can do better to make it make sense. So anyway, yeah.